These men are using hallucinogenic drugs to put themselves in a state of ecstasy, to travel to the edges of the universe. There they traffic with their spirits, the Hekura. Our children play house or cops and robbers. Their children learn how to be shamans, using wood ashes instead of real drugs. Neighboring groups come to dance and feast, for in times of war, all villages need allies. Many of these aggressive displays are symbolic, but some are in deadly earnest. These are the Yanomama Indians of Venezuela, a remote tribe that makes its living by cultivating, hunting, and gathering. From our perspective, other cultures sometimes appear to be exotic and incomprehensible at first glance. It is the task of anthropology to discover through fieldwork how other cultures operate. Anthropologist Napoleon Chagnon, professor of anthropology at Northwestern University, has done fieldwork among the Yanomama since 1964, building an impressive understanding of these people. His field techniques are the standard tools of anthropology.
The basic data of anthropology comes from fieldwork. You can't learn about another culture simply by reading a government document or a research report or books in a library. You must go and live in another society for a long period of time and to a certain extent participate in that society. This participation is a unique dimension of anthropology that no other science has. Participant observation. The anthropologist must go, immerse himself or herself in another culture for long periods of time and try to understand the inside view of another culture, how it ticks, how kinship, marriage, family, descent, social organization, how they operate, what are their problems. Now, fieldwork can be very difficult. It can be challenging, but it's also exciting and very rewarding. When I first went to live with the Yanomama, I worried about things like, would they accept me? Would they like me? Would they be truthful? Would I be accepted in their society? Would they cooperate with me and give me the information that I went there to collect? I worried about this constantly, even as I sat in my canoe, going into the Orinoco for the first time in 1964. I worried about it right up to the point that I walked into the village.
My fieldwork took me deep into unexplored jungle where I visited some 60 villages. I canoed to some and walked to others, but did not travel much at first until I learned their language. Each group wanted me to remain with them and not go further. They wanted a monopoly on my trade goods. They would try to frighten me by tales of treachery or fabulous river monsters that would devour me and my canoe. Some of the dangers were real, others imaginary. I survived all of them over the course of a dozen field trips. I had to visit many villages to build a complete ethnographic understanding of the Yanomama. In each case, I came as a Yanomama visitor is expected to come. Enter the clearing, parade to the center, hold my weapons erect, and strike a ritual pose while the hosts greeted and inspected me. They could not pronounce my name, Chagnon or Chagnon. It sounded to them like their name for a pesky bee, and that is what they decided to call me. To the Yanomama, I am the man called Bee. As an anthropologist, I am also a visitor, but I must recline as they do, with poise and dignity, unconcerned and confident. They inspect my decorations and speculate about the purpose of my visit. I went to this village every year to update my census and genealogical data. They fed me as they would feed any guest. I didn't expect to see my old friend, Nanokawa, here. He and his group broke away from the village several years earlier because of fights over women. On this occasion, he was here on an extended visit. Generosity and reciprocity are always important in all cultures. In fact, the only way you can be sent to the Yanomama version of hell is to be stingy during your lifetime. Each item given must always be repaid. I learned and abided by these rules. One reason the Yanomama accepted me was because I brought them useful trade goods, such as machetes and knives. If I didn't bring them gifts, they would not cooperate or give me information. But I could not simply give things away, for those who received nothing would resent me and be reminded of my stinginess. Thus, I traded with them. I was concerned about my own impact on their culture and tried to limit the number and kinds of goods I brought. Enough to get my work done and remain on good terms with them, but not too much. Key informants always play important roles in field research. This is Dedahewa, one of my best friends and informants. He is a shaman of great renown. He has 16 children by several wives and is an important influence in the village. Dedahewa is also one of the most knowledgeable men I have met in any culture. He encouraged me to learn the details of his religion and cosmology. Dedahewa taught me about ancient wars and village moves. He taught me about the Hekwita spirits, their magical songs, and their supernatural power to cause or cure sickness. Shamans take drugs and become Hekwita. They eat the souls of enemies and lick the body fat of their victims from their fingers to purify themselves. Anthropologists often have trouble explaining why they've come to do field work. The Yanomama thought it natural for me to be curious about them, for it was obvious to them that I was not quite human.